This is a Golden Age romance comic, Darling Love number 10. Let's see. These comics are actually pretty funny. They're entertaining, campy. This is an ad for some shit you can buy. This woman here, her daddy's rich. He wants her. This is like this generic archetypal romance comic story. There's always a story of some rich girl whose father wants her to marry some guy that she's not in love with. So this girl decides to get out on her own and get a job driving a cab because she didn't have any job skills. And this other driver's pissed off because she's stealing his fare. But since she's a girl, they fall in love apparently. Yeah, she's used to the rich lifestyle now. She's dating this poor cabbie guy. Pretty soon she starts to get tired of having no money, I guess. Then he's going to get pissed off when she suggests that they ask her father for money. So they're going to break up the engagement. So this guy doesn't really love her, the guy she's supposed to get married to. So she's got to run back to the cabbie guy. I think the color looks pretty good in this comic. At the end of the story, she's going to live happily ever after with the cabbie guy who started his own business. That's another reoccurring theme. It's always the poor guy has to start his own business. Like, why can't she just marry him even if he hadn't started his own business? Oh. This story here is kind of goofy. I don't really get it. But it's kind of funny too. This guy's supposed to be Indian, and all this. Whenever they have a scene where they're like getting romantically involved, he's like colored white. The rest of the time, he's not colored white. Isn't that funny? I wonder if that was some kind of decision they made. So of course she's gonna fall in love with the Indian prince guy. But it's funny here, whenever they show him just being meeting friends, his skin is dark, like an Indian person. But whenever they have a romantic moment, all of a sudden his skin is painted white. Like, what the fuck? Is this some kind of politically incorrect decision? Oh shit, I got shadows there. Kind of funny. So here his face goes from dark to white, then embrace. But his face is dark, and when they kiss, his face turns white. And they don't ever really show it. They get away. Funny. It's almost like they didn't want to show an Indian guy kissing a white girl. Then this guy's sister's gonna try to kill her in the middle of the night. But then she's gonna reveal that she's not really his sister. He's adopted. She's in love with him, his sister. So this story didn't really make any sense to me. I knew I could never marry him. The girl had shown me what true love really meant. So if you're in love with somebody, why don't you want to marry him? Just because? I guess because he would have to give up his position or something. Won't be a prince anymore. Like shadow there. So they got a funny line here. East is east and west is west. But they have a funny line here from Kipling. It takes a great deal of Christianity to wipe out uncivilized Eastern instincts, such as falling in love at first sight. I thought that was kind of funny to put on. That would be kind of controversial for the 1950s. Second-hand kisses. This story here's kind of cool. The one sister. This is another reoccurring theme in these romance comic books. It's always one sister disapproves of a relationship with the second sister, and then she winds up dating the guy that she disapproved of. And it's always a story where the parents died and the older sister had to raise the younger sister. This older sister in the blue raised this other sister in the white. She doesn't approve of her dating a boxer because she wanted her to marry a fancy lawyer guy. It seems to be a recurring theme in all these romance comic books I've been reading from the 50s. There's always a disapproving sister and winds up falling in love with the one that she disapproves of. So this lawyer is the guy that was dating the girl that's dating the boxer originally. Then the other sister starts to trying to keep her sister away from the boxer, but then she winds up falling in love with him herself. Then one sister gets sick, and while she's in the hospital, the other sister's gonna make moves on the boxer guy more and more. I got a lot of text in these stories. I wonder if these comics are written by women or men. So the other sister gets out the hospital and catches her older sister making out with her boxer boyfriend. But then she reveals that she really realized she was in love with the other guy, so it didn't matter. But then the boxer finds out she was originally just leading him on to get him away from her sister. So he's pissed off now. Then of course it's a romance comic book, so it has to be a happy ending when they get back together. That's it. And here's an ad for a comic book about Sam Hill, private investigator. It's another comic book. I hadn't read that one. Never heard of it, actually. And this last story, My Dearest Enemy. I'll let you read this one if you want to out there in YouTube land. I guess you can use your pause button. You can actually read the whole comic book. It seemed like in the early days of comic books, they had all kind of different comic books. They had romance, war, science fiction. But then the superhero comic books took over. They're like king. Like now, that's the majority of what the comic books are. Superhero comics. Sunlight there.